Can I taste your juice?
Well, hey there, folks. PBusardo. What are we reviewing in this video right here? Kind of nothing. I said on the Smoker Show, and I said in the Facebook Live that we did, and then I also said in the previous video that I was going to put together a video of our recent China trip. So that's what this video is. So we're gonna go to China. We're gonna take a look at some manufacturing at Innokin. We're going to see the clean room and some manufacturing in there. We're going to see some packaging, and we're going to do some fun stuff along the way. What will I be vaping on during the course of this video? Absolutely nothing from Innokin. This is the, let's see, what is this? The Espion Silk from Joytech. This is their new one, kind of a rugged, completely surrounded by this rubbery material device. Along with the Vapefly's Galaxy's MTL RDTA. I promised you both of these reviews this week. They are coming, so that's why I'm just gaining some experience with these devices. I've got the Galaxies on the Espion right now. I've been vaping this with the no-name Squonk box too, just kind of get an idea of how it squonks. And right now I am running it in temperature control with a stainless steel build on this device. So look for a review on both of these later on in the week, okay? But right now, Innokin. So Dimitris and I went to China again, and it was a working trip this time. We didn't tour any other factories. We didn't work with any other companies. We were there at Innokin to work on our products and some products for Innokin as well. That being design, ideas, user interfaces, finishes, colors, looks, all kinds of things that we worked on. So if I can give you one photo that really kind of summarizes the trip, this is the photo. This is where and how we spent most of our time there. You know, Dimitris and I do design documents on the products that we're working on, and we send them to Innokin, but there is nothing like there's nothing like being there and having a whiteboard in front of you and bringing the engineers and the materials guys and the guys who do the 3D CAD drawings and the guys who do the renderings of the other products. There's nothing like having those people right there and working everything out on the board. There's always a huge language barrier, so you know we need people to translate our ideas and our concepts for us. But what we have noticed most is that is what works best. Actually being there and designing the product hand in hand with the engineers and the management over there. And it's been good. It's been a really, really good experience. So that's the photo. That would be the photo that would kind of, like I said, summarize how we spent most of our time there. So let's get right into one of the lines. Now, obviously, there's a whole lot of lines. And by the way, if you're interested in this video, a lot of people kind of have forgotten the fact that we've done this numerous times before, okay? So we've brought you to the Kanger factory and the Aspire factory and the Vaporesso factory and the Joytech factory. We saw how batteries were being made at the one of the Aspire factories. So what I'm going to do is, if you are interested in that, I'm going to take all of those links that we did, or all of those videos that we did, and I'll put all of the links in the description of this video, and of course on tasteyourjuice.com. And by the way, luckily, I am editing this as I'm recording it. So I just noticed, like, what the hell happened to my audio quality? And I realized I had the wrong microphone selected. So one more section of bad audio, and then the rest will sound like this, okay? So there's two different Innokin locations. There's the factory and then their main offices. And actually they're getting ready to move, even though the main offices are pretty new, they're getting ready to move their main offices closer to the factory so they can consolidate some of the folks that work there. Because at both the main offices and the main factory, they have sales departments in both of those locations. So they want to consolidate some of the like sales and engineers into one location and just have the other location strictly for, I think, bigger meetings and production, okay? So let's get right to production. So we're going into the main factory. And in the main factory, obviously, there's different floors. There's a floor for sales and the conference rooms. That's kind of what you're seeing right here. And then there's floors for packaging. There's floors for manufacturing or assembly. Let's call it assembly because really that's what it is. And then there's floors for the clean room as well. coil manufacturing there, and also a clean environment for OEM products. And some of the folks behind those OEM products might have stricter requirements for manufacturing or assembly, right? So that's why Innokin did go ahead and build that clean room ISO facility that you're going to see in this video. But let's start with assembly first, and we're going to go to assembly on the Chroma, which is a device that I've actually been quite a fan of far before I got involved with this device. So let's go ahead and take a look at how the Chroma is assembled at Innokin.
I wonder if the white balance is right. You look a little pasty.
You do look a little pasty. I mean, I'm pasty anyway, but
no,
I don't know about your pasty.
I'm usually beautiful, golden, and delicious.
And robust.
And robust.
And creamy.
So, been one of my favorite products for a long time. Now it's part of the platform kit with the Zenith, and lucky enough to have them actually running a line here for the Chroma. We got some new stuff coming up with the Chroma that we really can't talk about. Dimitri, can you talk about it?
Cannot.
You cannot. But we can talk about how this one is being made, so let's check it out. All right, so it all starts here. This is the frame. They come delivered like this.
Fresh out of paint.
Fresh out of paint. And we're going to put on a protection strip here to protect the finish as it goes down the line. All right, so here we have the fire button being installed and the two control buttons. Here we have the top cap going on. And then here we have this poor guy who is going to screw the top cap onto every single Chroma that comes off the line. It's kind of neat here. So, I mean, he is using a tool. He's using a powered screwdriver to do this, but the screws are actually being fed out of this machine into the tool. That's just going to speed up the process a little bit. It's going to correctly orient the screws for assembly. All right, so now we got control board installation. Here's the control board. The control board goes into the frame, and they make the initial solder connection. Nice soldering iron too. You'll notice here it actually feeds the solder into the iron automatically. And any smoke that comes off the soldering is being sucked into the vacuum here. So here we have a little protective surround that's going on to all the buttons. This is going to be for the fire button and the two control buttons on the board itself. Here the control board is actually being inserted into the frame. So she knows just how to do this. You can see the control board does have the screen on it. She knows just how to twist it in there. So here we have another solder connection being made. And this is where the battery gets installed. Your battery cells here. Don't touch, don't touch. Okay, you can touch. Okay, don't touch that one. Don't touch that one. And here you can see that the battery connections are being soldered from the board to the battery before the battery actually gets fit into the case. Got a couple of protective strips here being installed on the battery to prevent any shorting. So here's the grip mold. So this woman is going to sit the battery into the frame. She's going to install the grip mold and the bottom plate. So battery goes in, grip mold goes on, and the bottom plate gets inserted. Okay, not screwed down yet, just all kind of put together. So you take a look here, he's screwing the bottom plate onto the device, doing a quick visual inspection. She's going to insert a micro USB cable and make sure that the device does take a charge. Over here we have another quick visual inspection. She's also going to fire the device up and make sure it has output. By the way, you may not know this, but Daniel, DJ LED, he originally applied for this job but was rejected. All right, so here we have the side plate and the screen cover going on. And it's press fit into place. And over here, you have a final inspection. She's looking for any defects, she's looking for scratches. And then finally here, one more test. They're gonna screw an atomizer on. They're gonna make sure it fires the atomizer. Goes into a bag. And downstairs to packaging.
Okay, so we saw, where'd it go? All right, take two. All right, so we just saw Chroma assembly. Let's go see Chroma packaging now.
All right, so what are we packaging on this line here, Mr. Dimitri?
This is our baby, the Chroma and Zenith kit. Really excited about this. We've always wanted to have a good box starter kit on the market for smokers and of course MTLers. People that like vaping MTL, to give them another option, another choice on the market. But mostly something that was very simple to get started to try vaping. You know, we need a lot more of those products to come out, and hopefully we will deliver them here with the platform series. So this is the assembly, if I'm not mistaken, of the white tank and the white Chroma.
Packaging, not assembly. I don't know if we're going to get to see assembly on these today, but
I keep using that word assembly, but this is simply just packaging. They're assembling
the package.
Starts off with just a simple box. Plastic tray inside that's going to hold the device.
Whoa, she works very fast.
The extra drip tip and the O-rings. Every Chroma kit comes with 2 drip tips depending on your style. Giving us a couple more options for the vapors and the smokers. This is the replacement coil. All the kits that are leaving from here, except the white and the black, have the new plexus coil inside. So there won't be any confusion. So all the new tanks, 22, 24, all the colored kits, maybe a couple more colors that we're working on right now, will have the plexus and the 1.6 ohm coil. The black and the white will have the 0.8 and the 1.6 ohm coil. The 0.8 will also be available on the market to purchase separately, and of course the plexus.
Right. So we did that so that we didn't create a new SKU for the white and the black kits, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So then it doesn't create confusion on the market as well too. So here's the white Chroma. This is probably my favorite color. Quality control, a couple steps here. She checks to make sure that it's taken a charge, plugs it in. A little box here lets her know. And you can see they're not positioning it in the tray yet because there's another step that they have to do as well too. So here,
these are checked a whole bunch of times during assembly, but now they're checking one more time before they actually
before they
seal
go into
up
the
the
package.
box.
This is the white tank that comes with the white Chroma.
Somebody's gonna have your fingerprints on that tank right now.
You're gonna be very lucky. Here she checks to see if the device is working. So she'll take a full atomizer with liquid inside, screw it on, fire it a couple times.
Now, of course, she's not using the atomizer that comes packaged in the box.
Correct.
But I noticed that she does look at the atomizer from both sides to make sure that the glass isn't cracked before she puts it in there. So this is just one final step before it gets placed in the box.
Yep. And same thing over here.
Same thing here.
And
now it finally gets set into the box. And what she's doing is she's going to take one more look, going to do one more little quality inspection. She's going to wipe off any fingerprints, and she has, I believe that's some alcohol here, some like a rubbing alcohol to clean it off.
It's accessories time. The little box on the left starts off with, of course, the user guide. Then she's going to insert the booklet with the battery safety and the warranty card and the QR code, the quality control.
And of course the all-important Innokin stickers are in there
and
too.
The Innokin stickers, yes. The USB cable.
USB charge cable.
Then the Innokin Vape Band and a couple of extra O-rings. And then the very important QR code. Once you get this kit, all you have to do is just scan that with your phone. It'll take you to a page and you can get to see Phil's lovely face. Explaining to you how to maintain, use, clean, or troubleshoot your kits, your device in your tank. And then once again, the outer box. That's a tight fit. A little sealing sticker.
Actually, each one of the boxes has its own
Yep.
self-adhesive sticker. Before we had that self-adhesive sticker, Dimitri would come here and he would lick every one of the boxes.
Every single one.
It was tough. It became very difficult for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the final step, put the plastic cellophane wrap on it, seal it off, and then send it to the oven.
All right, so this isn't our product. This is the Endora T22, but you can see what's happening here. So the box is kind of loose and it's baggy. It goes in this side, goes through the conveyor. It's like a pizza oven. Right? Very hot. So many hot, yeah. And then it gets sealed like that. Now, you think we could run the camera through there and see what happens?
We can try.
Probably a bad idea.
Bad idea.
So let's take the camera, let's put it on that line, let's run it down so you can see the whole thing. Now, you may notice in that clip that Dimitri was not his usual jovial self. That is because he is sick as a dog in that clip. He was running a fever. He had the chills. I don't know if it was something that was brought on by, the attack on his body from the different kinds of foods that we ate, or maybe it was because we were going in, into like air-conditioned rooms to like extremely hot China weather. I don't know, but he was really, really sick. But like a true professional, he suffered through it and still continued to work. Now, I don't know if you know this, but we actually fly into Hong Kong, and then we take a car from Hong Kong into Shenzhen. When you start off in Hong Kong, they drive on the wrong side of the road, at least to us, right? And they have their own kind of money, and as soon as you get into, like, I guess, mainland China, Shenzhen area, they drive on the right side of the road, at least for us, and they have a different kind of currency. But when you go back and forth across the border, there's an immigrations check. There's, they look at your passports, they look at your luggage, and they also shoot you in the forehead with a thermometer to make sure that you're not carrying any diseases across the border. So there was really, really big concern. There was big concern about him getting from Shenzhen back into Hong Kong and making the flight. Now, I personally was not very concerned about Dimitri getting across the border. I was more concerned about Dimitri preventing me from getting across the border. Luckily, we had no issues. It was a slight fever, but not enough to trigger any alarms and keep him in the country. So there's a scale here. It's a packing scale, right? And they changed it to pounds. And I know you're very proud of what you've done, what you've accomplished, right?
Yeah.
So get on the scale.
All right.
Let's see what happens here. And on the scale, it says, I'm very close to, okay, 207.52 pounds. Okay. Should I get on the scale?
You should get on the scale.
Yeah, I should get on the scale and look.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see what it says.
Here we go. Error.
It's not.
It's more of me to love. That's what it is. So, usually, they don't let us record like the secret stuff that they're working on behind the scenes. But apparently, they have seen the Legal Vape 4000 video. They're working on their own version of it right here. Check this out. This is the all-new Legal Vape 17,000. Where's the phone? Oh, is this there? Oh, look, here's
Yeah.
here, right here.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? We're at an e-cig store here in
Shenzhen, Guangzhou Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we found a new vaporizer.
Yeah, watch this. It's cool. Sit right here. Oh, hold on, I broke it.
Oh.
So yeah, we did get to go shopping for a day. We went to Kwanjang Bay. I think I'm pronouncing that the right way. It's the electronics district. We've taken you there several times before in the videos. We really didn't shoot a whole lot of video from there this time. But what I can tell you is the last time we were there, for as far as the eye could see, it was thousands and thousands, if not millions, of fidget spinners. That's what was there the last time we were there. Now, you can't find a fidget spinner anywhere there. It's amazing how they completely switch based on what the trending hot products are. And if I could say there was one thing that seemed to be hotter than the other this time, it would be wireless chargers. Wireless charging was really, really big, prominent, and on display at that electronics area. And you know, the hardwired ones, or the power bank ones, the wireless ones that you can kind of take with you. So yeah, wireless charging, very, very popular there. And by the way, that is not how I got the clip from Dimitri. This is actually how I got the clip from Dimitri, because he did film it.
You recording?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, so while we were there in packaging, we did something fun with the golden ticket promotion that we're running. Now, the first time we see the golden ticket in the wild is right here.
That's so cute. Look at that. Look at that ass. I'll work it.
And I do apologize for that piece of video. So, what is the golden ticket promotion? I'll let Dimitri explain it to you.
Αυτή τη στιγμή είναι μια προσφορά από την Innokin. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ για αυτά τα δώρα. Σε τυχαία πακέτα τα οποία φεύγουν εδώ από το εργοστάσιο, εάν θα βρείτε μέσα το χρυσό λαχνό, κερδίζετε ένα Chroma A με το Zenith, έναν Ari, ένα Gem, ένα Endura TAF 20, ένα Pocket Box και ένα Endura X. Όλα αυτά από πίσω εδώ είναι ένας αριθμός, δεν μπορώ να σας τον δείξω. Εάν το βρείτε αυτό μέσα στο πακέτο σας, στέλνετε τον αριθμό στο email που έχει από πίσω και είστε ο μεγάλος τυχερός. Όπως θα κάνουμε τώρα, εδώ πέρα μόλις μας έρθει ένα πακέτο, το επόμενο πακέτο που θα έρθει θα πάρει μέσα το ετικέτο αυτό.
Did you say Pokebox?
Pokebox.
Pokebox. Pokebox.
It's my Greek way of saying Pokebox.
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 Now, for those of you who speak Greek, you're all set. For those of you who don't speak Greek, welcome to my world when Dimitri is around anyone who does speak Greek. Actually, what we were doing there is Dimitri was recording a lot of the footage that you're seeing here, also in the Greek language, for the Vaping Greek Facebook pages and the Vaping Greek forums. So that's what we were doing there. So we're going to get to what this is in just a second. But once I had this in my hand, I couldn't help but start singing the Golden Ticket song from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I had some others do it as well. And I apologize in advance should your ears begin to bleed during this segment.
All right, try it. No. Try it.
Try what?
Say something.
Golden ticket.
Do something.
Here, hold on. Hold on.
I forgot the words.
You forgot the words? you're an idiot. Okay, come on. Yeah.
I have a golden ticket.
No, that's terrible,
What
dude.
is it? Is that how
It's I have a golden ticket. Try it.
I have a golden ticket.
Oh my god, that was good. That was the first time you
Okay.
got it. Yeah. Now try this. Schnitzel.
Snitchel. 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 I have a golden ticket. Is that it?
No, it's good. It's just the way you say ticket. It's just like the Willy Wonka Greek version.
I have a golden ticket.
Nope. No. Give it to Jay. Give it to Jay.
Okay.
That was bad. That was terrible.
Horrible.
Go ahead.
I'm the worst.
Let's
at
try.
the game.
Let's try. Go ahead.
I win a golden ticket.
That's perfect. That was the wrong words and the wrong melody. Okay, let's give it a short. That was good.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
One more time, George.
One more time.
All right, here we
Okay. Good. Good, George.
I win the golden ticket.
That's good. That's good. Very good.
I have a golden ticket.
It's pretty good. I think he's better than you. I don't think he put enough
Everybody's
emotion
better
into it.
than me.
I don't think he put
Yeah,
enough
put a little more
emotion.
emotion
A little more
into it.
emotion.
It's
A little more
Canadian.
feeling.
I have a golden ticket.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Oh, I got a golden ticket.
That's good. That's
Very good.
That's
That's
very
beautiful.
good. And now it's your turn. Your turn.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Don't go
Yeah.
so close, okay? Because that microphone's very strong. I have a golden ticket. See, that's beautiful.
That was horrible.
Dimitri,
Yeah.
do you have a golden ticket?
I have a golden ticket.
Can I have the golden ticket?
Here is the golden ticket.
So those of you guys who don't know, we're doing a promotion on the Chrome, and we're going to be doing future promotions on the platform products. And this is the golden ticket promotion. So we have a whole bunch of these golden tickets. They're going to go inside several of the boxes, of course, at random. And if you do get a golden ticket, there's a code on the back, and you send Innokin an email with the code, and it's kind of a nice prize. I'll read from here. You get a Chroma A Zenith kit, you get an Aries tank, you get a gem, you get an Endura T20, you get a pocket box, and you get an Endura X, okay? So we're going to be doing a whole lot of this and a lot more with the platform products. So I'm going to take the golden ticket.
How awesome though! Somebody's gonna actually
It's
win
kinda
this
cool.
like right off the line. That's
Right here.
pretty exciting.
So I just guess I take any box, right?
Well,
Box? Okay.
there you go. There's your opportunity right there.
All right. I'm going to take it. You take that one.
Yes.
You take that one?
Well, whoever's gonna get that
Hold the golden
is
ticket.
going to be a winner.
Here's the golden ticket. Okay. Golden ticket doesn't fit in the ball. wait. All right, it's in there.
That is pretty awesome.
It's in there. It's in there.
Good luck, everybody. I hope you find the golden ticket.
So we had a lot of fun with that segment. I hope you guys did too. So keep your eye out for the golden ticket inside, at random, of course, inside the platform boxes. And the prize package that I read is actually just one of the prize packages. So here's like another one: the Chroma A Zenith kit, the Aries tank, the EQ, the Proton kit, which is really nice, the Endura X, the Lift Box, Bastion. So different tickets have different prizes, and the information on the ticket, how to claim your prize, is on the back of the ticket, which I can't show you because it has the secret code back here. Okay, so we're going to see one more packaging line, and then we're going to head into the clean room to see some coil production. Now, all of these lines, obviously different lines assemble different things, different lines package different things, and they can turn on a dime, and we actually saw that there, where they just kind of take all of the procedures off the line, they put them down, they go down to the end, new procedures come down, they take their procedure, they put it up, and then before you know it, there's different parts and pieces or different packaging heading down the line for assembly or for packaging. So we're going to take, and by the way, it's really cool for us. I mean, it's really cool for us to see our products being, manufactured and being packaged and coming out to you guys. And we sincerely appreciate the support. We're thrilled if you like the products. Even more thrilled if the products are helping smokers convert to vaping, because that is what it's all about for us. It's winner Chinese chicken feet dinner, folks. All right, so let's see the Aries get packaged. Say action or something like that.
Action.
So, it was really exciting for us to bring the atomizers out in the market, to see our names on an actual product, but to be here at the Innokin factory and see some of the stuff being made. And we're in packaging right now, so they're going to be packaging the Aries. Notice up here, like there's a process for every step that happens here on any one of the assembly lines. So there's a process for packaging, there's a process for assembly. Every step in the assembly line has its own process, and it's just one of the ways that they maintain quality, not only in the assembly of the products, but also in packaging too. So we're going to see packaging right now of the Aries. It starts here with the empty box.
The books.
Very handsome. Look at those two handsome
I'm
devils.
still gonna fight to get a new picture on there. By the
No,
way.
I don't care, because that's the old Dimitri. I love the old Dimitri. So here we go. We open up the box. The manual goes in first. Then we come over here. And there's the tray that the atomizer sits in, and they start to put the accessories in there.
And everybody knows this little bag here by now, I would hope, because it has the little screwdriver, and it's also on the screwdriver, but it has the very famous, the spare screws, the very famous PBusardo build tool here, and the not so famous Dimitri build tool. Everybody knows the PBusardo build tool is much better than the Dimitri build tool. Yeah, sure. And we're moving down here. This is where the spare tank and the O-rings get placed in that bottom. This is really good because I could never get it all back together once I take it out of the box.
They package it really tight. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we put in there as well.
It really is. This is the another accessories bag here. This is going to have the 2 coils, the pre-built coils. This is going to have the raw wire and the cotton that we give you in the kit. She knows exactly how to do that. Look at that. So we come over here, we get the vape band, and that's the last accessory that's going to go in there, and then finally that tray is going to go into the box. And then we have an Aries. So in this case we have the gunmetal. That's the new gunmetal. And over here we have the new rainbow. And I don't want to lift this gentleman's tray up here or this woman's tray up, but if we take a look under there, we have the new gold under there. So those are the 3 new color Aries we have coming your way. So it comes down after the tank is sitting in the holder, the box is closed, and then we get this card. So this card is really special to us because it is my signature, it's Dimitri's signature. It's a little thank you for supporting the product and for supporting us. And then on this side we have the QR code, and the QR code, if you scan that with your phone, that's going to take you to tutorial videos. It's going to take you to a video with information about the Aries, some troubleshooting videos. So this is going to be in the box as well. Your handwriting is so much better than mine. I mean,
it really is.
It really is. That's like, mine's pathetic. It's like, well, that's an engineer's.
Sure. It's like a doctor.
Right, like a doctor.
Doctor's.
Exactly. Very good. Yes. So over here we have the outer box. Now, do you think that this girl knows? Do you think this girl has any idea that the photo on the back of that box is us?
She has absolutely no clue.
Do you think she knows that it's us?
She has no clue, and I don't think she cares, honestly.
No, probably doesn't care at all, no. So over here the box is sealed. The box gets the plastic wrap over here. Plastic wrap is sealed. And then that box goes into this box, and then this box is going to go to the shrink wrap section. Now, of course, what is a China video without at least talking about the food a little bit? As you can imagine, we had some pretty good meals there. As you can imagine, we also tried some very, very unique things there. There are times when you put things in your mouth and you're just like, oh God, just chew and swallow, just chew and swallow. But for the most part, the food is really, really good there. Very interesting. I mean, you do need to be a little bit adventurous to try some of the things, and I certainly am. Dimitri, much more adventurous on this trip. Usually, here's how it goes down. Usually, I am forced to try something first, and then I will take it, I will put it in my mouth, and he will stare at me, trying to get a read on whether or not I like it. And usually I'll be like, no, or yeah, go ahead. That's really good. So what are some of the more interesting things that we tried on this trip? Well, duck blood, that was interesting. Actually really good. We had it in a hot pot. Ox throat. That not so good. Actually, there wasn't a whole lot of flavor. It was just a textural thing for me that didn't really do it. We had a really nice dinner with George and Paul from Innokin one night. It was a restaurant, but the restaurant was surrounded actually a fishery, right? And they were hatching fish, and then they would take a lot of these fish and they would bring them inside, and you get to choose your dinner. You get to meet your dinner. You get to pet your dinner. You get to play with your dinner. You can even name your dinner, and then you eat your dinner. And there was like a main seating room, and then like what I would call is like all individual little seating rooms or private dining rooms all the way around this hatchery. So that was a really fun, unique dinner. And then I would say one of the most special things that we tried, and we actually put this on Facebook, and it might be the answer to a certain, not a contest that's going on right now, is James Lee from Innokin, one of the owners of Innokin.
he had like this favorite dish that he used to have, or this favorite meal that he used to have in his hometown village, I guess you could say. And he wanted us to try it, so he brought some in for us in the morning, which is really special, you know, when they do something like that. So of course we're going to try it, and it was more or less donkey sandwiches. And it was this little sandwich, and it had some donkey meat in it. And guys, it was delicious. I mean, it tasted like barbecue beef, right? Don't be afraid to try something new, especially if it's not in line with, you know, what we expect here, what is normal for us here. Because, you know, you go to different places in the world, what's normal for us is not normal for them. And what's normal for them is certainly not normal for us. And who am I to judge other cultures' traditions, right? So absolutely, we're going to try it. How's that?
It's
It's good, right? You give it back. Here.
Oh.
I'll try. No. Come on, man.
All right.
Well, you already took 2 bites.
Oh, okay, fine. What are you eating?
It's donkey meat. Donkey. It's delicious. It really is. Good. Hold on. I think I have to burp. Hold on.
Can you
Very, very good.
Since I'm in the restaurant business, here, hold on. It tastes like a pork shoulder that has been smoked over hickory wood, and you just eat like dry pork with no sauce on it, nothing like that. That's exactly what it tastes like.
James, very good. Really, really good. Really good. Yeah. Thank you.
That is good.
Yeah. All right.
I'm done.
You're not, you ate the rest of it. Good. You need to put a little bit more meat on your bones.
A little donkey meat.
A little donkey meat on your bones. You've always been an ass anyway.
Big as that burger.
All right, so one more thing before we get to the clean room and coil assembly. The last night we were there, like I said, Dimitri was sick as a dog. He was sick in bed. He didn't want to get out of bed. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to eat anything. So, of course, I stayed there to care for him, correct? No, I went with Paul to his apartment to play some VR.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Paul. You look a little spastic when you're doing it.
It is fascinating.
And that was really fun. I have a big fascination with VR and VR tech, and so does Paul, actually even more so than I do. So he invited me over. We took some photos from the rooftop of his building, and we played some VR together. So Paul, thank you very much for that. That was fun. Let's see, what else did we do? We had some sushi with Yanni. Hey, Yanni. Unfortunately, Brian wasn't there. You've seen Brian in a lot of the videos. But Brian was actually in the States, but we did want to go see Yanni, and we had some sushi with him. And at that sushi dinner, we did have some sake. Perhaps we had a little bit too much sake. We did hold 2 sales meetings with both of the sales teams. The sales team, remember I was talking about before, how they're kind of separate right now. We had a meeting with the sales team in the main offices, and then a meeting with the sales team in the factory building. And then, of course, we got to see the clean room. Now, this clean room is actually very recent. I think you saw it the last time we were in China, but the time before that, the clean room did not exist. So this is Innokin continuing to improve their production and also making it a viable option for OEM manufacturers who demand this kind of environment. So let's take a look at the clean room and coil assembly at Innokin.
I feel your pain, man. You might see this a little bit different than the last time we were here in India. As times are evolving, demands and the industry are asking for more and more. It's okay, go ahead, no problem, no problem. So yeah, this is the newly redesigned and restructured ISO facility for the coil process for India. Okay, we need to suit up.
Let me see. My God, you know what? Almost as good as Skechers.
Almost. We got a special one for you.
Yeah, very special.
Pink size.
Where are we headed to now, D?
We're going into the ISO room where they make the coils.
Coils.
Hopefully we'll see the production of the Plexus.
Yeah,
Z-Coil.
the Z-Coil. Yep. You look very handsome, Dimitri.
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome. So again, I mean, there's even a process for using the hand sanitizers. And you know, before we go in there, it wasn't long ago that this was not how things were done in China.
No.
Right?
If you remember clearly, but when we did the last videos here from some of the factories, we got a lot of comments from people that said that the coils were being handmade and the conditions is something that we breathe inside. I know a lot of the companies have stepped up their game, but Innokin has as well too, creating this ISO facility that handles all of their coils before they are sent out. So yeah, very, very exciting to see this.
I think the hat looks better on me. I think it does. I look more dashing. But it is good to know. It is good to know that the coils, including the Zenith coils, are being made in an environment like this, and I hope you feel confident, or at least more confidence, about where your coils are being made. So let's go in and take a look. All right, so first we're going to go into the air shower. You know, Dimitri and I usually shower together. And here we are again.
One more time.
All right. Whoa! So I'll just walk you through, and so you can get an idea of the size of this. Now we'll just start from one end, and you could take a look at all the employees here and all the way down these lines. So like Dimitri said earlier, when we came here for the first time, there were people who were concerned that there were hands. There were actually hands coming in contact with the coils and components of the coils, and you can see now that that's not happening. So I actually have to go put a mask on now, and I have to cover my hands, and we'll take a look at Z-Coil Production. So there's a lot of components that go into making up the coils, and here you can see for some of the coils we have the cotton already in the coil. Here's some more here. And some more, you can see cotton here and some silica here. Some pre-silicate coils here. And some of the components that go into making some of your favorite coils out there. Okay, well, you look very clean, pal. You look very clean.
Thank you.
And sterile. You look very sterile. Yeah.
Well, we have to because based on the ISO, a lot of people might say, oh, they're putting on a show or whatever, but it's like this every day. And
Yep.
really, we've been here all week, so this is the way that the ISO works. Currently, there's all kind of coils being made in the different lines. This particular two lines here are making 1.6 ohm Z coils and 0.8 ohm Z coils. So we want to kind of take you through the process, kind of show you how all those coils are being made. So let's start right here. This is the 0.8. You can see all the individual pieces are actually put by hand, one by one. There's at least 8 people here doing the same thing. We have the casing, we have the insulator, we have the cotton, we have the coil itself that comes pre-made from the machine. This is the 0.8.
Let me see that coil.
Well, if I can grab one.
Well, it's very difficult with the gloves, I understand. Oh. Now, do you suppose they used the Dimitri tool to make that coil?
It looks like it did. It really did.
Somewhere there's a factory with 10,000 Chinese people using the Dimitri coiling tool to make those coils right there.
That is really cool. So that's the 0.8. Takes the cotton inside, then goes into the casing, insulator, and pin. Then it gets on the conveyor belt to start the process of becoming a coil.
So she's basically making the inner core.
The inner core, correct.
Okay.
Same thing
Same
here.
thing here.
Same thing there.
And same thing here. And, okay, we have actually several people doing the same process here.
Right.
But you can see what they're producing, which is this little piece right here. Okay, so the leads are a little long at this point, and this person is going to trim those leads. And not only are the leads too long, but the cotton is a little bit too long. So this person here is going to trim the cotton. And it goes back on the conveyor to the next step. So here it gets an outer wrapping of cotton and goes into the casing. And back on the conveyor. So we have several people doing that same step. And here, the outer casing is being press fit to the inner core. So even though this looks like a press, all they're doing is they're coming down with the press, they're making contact, and they're looking at the resistance on the ohm meter here to validate that it's within a range, within a tolerance range of the resistance being produced. So we'll see, we'll get a quick flash on there, and that's what he's looking at. And on this step right here, the top core of the coil is being fit with the bottom, which is going to have your airflow and your 510 connection. Because remember, on the Z-coils, the 510 connection is actually built into the coil. What's next?
Nothing. Just got press fit down the core.
Okay, so this here, the 510 connection is being press fit to the rest of the coil head.
Pressure air test and another resistance check.
So what they're actually looking for here is really interesting because they're looking for kind of the airflow through the coil, right? So if it's too loose, it doesn't pass inspection. If it's too tight, it doesn't pass inspection. That means there's something either blocking or something wrong with the airflow on the coil.
They've got an adjustment pressure that they've marked over there. They got to make sure that's within that range.
Yes, I need that. I need that to test my airflow through tanks.
Another resistance check.
One more resistance check here. O-ring placement. Okay, so the bottom O-ring is being put on the coil here. That's what this person does all day long. Just puts tiny little O-rings on a coil. And this is actually one final visual inspection of the coil. And then the coil goes into this tray, into these trays, and off for packaging and shipping to you. So when we recorded the other side of the line, something that we didn't see on this side of the line is that they're installing the little screen, which is like the anti-spit back protector on these coils. So when we take a look here, see all these little screens being inserted into that barrel right there. And he's got a little tool that he presses it in with. I want you to do that all day, every day for a week. Yeah.
I probably couldn't get one day.
Probably not. We also found out that on the other side they're making the plexus coil, so that's exciting. We get to see that and show you guys that. But something else is really interesting here, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, but this is an interesting fact. A lot of these presses, okay, these are actually from old Chinese slot machines. Did you know that?
I did not.
So I went down here and I did all that, and finally I won a bunch of coils.
All right, very exciting. We get to see the Plexus Z-Coil, the MPL version. The first Plexus style MPL on the market. And you're gonna see what it starts off with.
Can you work that with your gloves?
Yeah, look at that. This is what it starts off with.
Okay, so there it is right there. And we'll just put a traditional coil next to it, and you can see the difference. right?
So obviously here we get more surface area. This is a very thin material, heats up pretty fast. Wicks better, lasts longer. Slightly better flavor, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not night and day different flavor, but
Right.
it is a little bit better. And the idea here is that you have more surface area coming in contact with the cotton and the e-liquid, and that's why your cotton is going to last a little bit longer with this design over the older traditional coil method. And it's actually interesting because I really thought that these were going to start off as rounded, but they actually start off flat here.
Right.
Okay, so they have a shell. They take the coil. They put cotton on the back side of the coil. They have a shaft. They wrap the coil around the shaft, cinch the cotton, put it into the casing. Take a look. Bend the leads out a little bit. Put an insulator on. Put a cap on the insulator. And down it goes. So the rest of the process at this point is going to be very similar to what we saw before, but that shaft is actually going to come out of the coil and return to the beginning of the line. So that shaft is just a build tool, actually. So again, here we're trimming the leads. So she'll take it, she'll trim the cotton, and she actually pulls the build tool out of the coil at this point. And it'll go in that bin and go back to the beginning of the line. And the rest, like I said, very, very similar to the other line, very similar to the other coil production. Here, the outside of the coil gets a wrap of cotton. Here it's getting press fit together, and here again a resistance check. So these coils are about 0.5 ohms, and that's what she's looking for. She puts everyone on the press to look at the resistance, and she reads it right there. So here again it's getting the base. The base has the tabs and the 510 connection. All gets press fit together here. Again, here's the air pressure test. And one final resistance test now that the entire coil is assembled. One last visual inspection, and they're going to put the O-ring on the bottom, and they go in the tray. It's cool seeing it done, man. It really is. Yeah.
And that, my friends, is the end of this video. A very, very sincere thank you to all of the folks that we work with over there at Innokin, including but not limited to, obviously, James, George, Tao, Paul, Jay, Lena, and Kathy, and especially the engineers whose lives that we probably make pretty miserable while we're there. So I hope you found the video interesting, and I truly hope you enjoy what we and Innokin have coming up next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
Can I taste your juice?
Do you have a golden ticket? It's 3 clicks, dude. It's 3 clicks. Just keep filming now. Okay. Oh, wait, I gotta get it through here. Careful. Somebody careful. Dimitri, yeah. Do you have a golden ticket?
I have a golden ticket. Too much work. It's too much. I gotta do 3 things at the same time. All you have to say is, do you have a golden ticket?
Can I have the golden ticket?
Here is the golden ticket.